Hello, all. I'm so excited to be here. I have been away from home for a week, staying at OHI, which is a health and detox clinic that is in Bastrop, Texas, or Cedar Creek, Texas, close to Austin. And I'm feeling very good. I'm feeling a lot more clarity, a lot more energy, and a lot more put together. This is such a fascinating thing for me because it took me almost 2.5 years to say yes to go back to the clinic. And I wanted to talk a little bit about the fact that sometimes what we need is just a little bit of a reset. And I know I've talked a little bit about reset before, but I really think this particular time it's a little bit deeper into my cells, literally in all ways. And I think you'll enjoy the conversation today because I want to talk to you about what you can do by stepping back, resetting, reclaiming your confidence, and getting this boost in your self-esteem by really doing what maybe might be the hard thing. So buckle up, take a pen and paper out as always, and let's get to it. Have you ever felt held back by self-doubt, whether it's speaking up in a meeting or connecting with others or simply just believing in your own worth? Well, you're not alone. Welcome to the Crazy Confidence Coach podcast. I'm Heather Edwards, Master Certified Life Coach, and my goal is to empower you to step into your most authentic, confident self. Here, you're going to discover practical strategies and powerful insights to help you improve your communication, deepen those relationships, and elevate your self-esteem. And each week, I'm going to guide you through some actionable tips and mindset shifts that are specifically designed to help you break free from fear, show up boldly in every area of your life, and build crazy confidence. Are you ready to stop hiding in the shadows, playing small, and avoiding the spotlight? Grab your favorite pen and a notebook, and let's get to it. So like I said, I spent the last week fasting, drinking green juices, wheatgrass shots, and I did all of this not to shrink my body, but to see if I could do a little bit of reduction in inflammation in my body, maybe lower my cholesterol, and overall just a reset to my health. I could just feel that I was a little in dysbiosis and I just couldn't get to the point where I felt like I was doing good by myself physically. And something really surprising happened this time to my confidence. I just feel so much more confident. And I was thinking about this as I was in clinic and at the detox and thinking, man, my listeners really should hear about this. It would be something that would be valuable to you too. So let me tell you a few things. I've known for about 2.5 years I needed to go. I had surgery, cosmetic surgery, about 2.5 years ago and took a lot of pills, a lot of pain pills, a lot of antibiotics, that sort of thing. And if you know anything about your gut and resetting your gut, you know that you have to rebuild your microbiome and just get back to normal. And I just never could do that. And I have known for quite a while, but I just kept ignoring that nudge that I needed to go and that urge to really get myself back on track. So I finally made the decision and I just finally said yes. And that's what a decision is, right? When you make that final decision, you say yes or no. Either way, I said yes. And I decided that this time I'm just going to go to take care of me. If you know anything about me or about my past, you might know that I have gone to the detox clinic several times. Once when I was first double diagnosed with cancer in 2017. And then I went back in 2019 as kind of a repair detox just to keep in line with caring for myself in cancer. So this time, obviously much, much later. And again, finally said yes to me. The great news is the reset was really difficult, but it was well worth it. Not only did it give me much more energy, but I lost some weight and I actually had a very noticeable drop in my cholesterol. And I have proof. I took blood work before and I took blood work yesterday, or actually 2 days ago, and got the results today. So I think one thing to take note is that this isn't just a physical reset. It wasn't just physical for me. It reminded me that I am worth the investment in myself. I can do hard things on purpose and I can trust my personal choices and especially when I'm listening to that inner voice. So what I'm here to ask you is, what is your inner voice telling you that you need to do that you're either ignoring or you're simply just ignoring it and not honoring it? Just like my body was carrying inflammation, your confidence, my confidence carries inflammation around too. We carry around old stories, comparison, people pleasing, perfectionism. Even though it feels like a cleanse isn't really that important, it really is. And a cleanse isn't really about punishment, right? It's not about, I think about the green drinks and all the wheatgrass shots, and it just felt very punishing. It felt like I would, really didn't want that. But when we think about cleansing what is going on around us or what we're input or what we're taking in, it isn't about punishment. So keep that in mind. It just is about gently removing what isn't serving your body and what isn't serving your life. So confidence just works the same way. When you keep a promise to yourself or you listen to a nudge, you're going to build self-trust. Sometimes the hard thing is what you need to do, but you have to stick with it. And then once you see it through and you are on the other side of it, all of a sudden you realize, I can do hard things. And that muscle that you're building by quote unquote doing hard things is popping. All I can visualize here is Popeye the Sailor Man. And if you don't know Popeye, I'm sorry, because he's the crazy cartoon character. And I just see him, popping his muscles. So when you do hard things, you build your self-trust. And when you build your self-trust, all of a sudden you realize, oh, I trust myself. I can do other hard things that come up in the future. And your confidence just soars from that. When you know you've got your own back, and when you know that you don't have to feel good about yourself, but that you'll do what you need to do anyway, this is where your confidence and that foundation comes from. So this week, what I want to challenge you to do is to think about, what is one hard thing that you have wanted to do and you haven't done? Can you do that? Is it something small? Is it something big? If it is something small that you can do in the next 7 days, I want you to do it. Maybe you've thought that you need to be journaling, or maybe you need to step away from social media. Maybe it's taking a walk after dinner, and that can literally look like only 5 minutes of journaling each day, or 1 hour of tech-free time per day, no social media, or 1 20-minute walk after dinner. It doesn't have to be this big, grand gesture. It just needs to be something small that you'll do it in those each day for that 7 days, and that's repeatable, that you, at the end of that time, that you realize that you can trust yourself to do what you say you're going to do. Then I want you to consider another thing. Discomfort doesn't mean you're failing. So for me, fasting, wheatgrass shots, and green drinks were so uncomfortable almost the entire time I was there. Of course, I felt cravings, emotions, boredom. I even doubted and asked myself, is this working? Why am I doing this? Is this worth your time? Is it worth the money? And you may find from whatever similar experience that you have, doubt, frustration, maybe unexplained emotions, maybe you have resistance, or maybe you just have all of it. And it comes up because we love comfort. We are creatures of comfort. So when discomfort is where the growth is, you have to see it the whole way through. And this is the part that is difficult. So you have to feel the discomfort and do it anyway. When you do that, that is confidence practice in real time. So we often think, if I feel anxious, I must not be confident. But my cleanse reminded me that discomfort really isn't a red flag. It's just a growth flag. On your journey, just know when you're making changes. When you say no, you're going to feel uncomfortable. When you set boundaries, you're going to feel uncomfortable. When you speak up in meetings, you're going to feel uncomfortable. When you take on a new exercise routine or new eating routine or a new reading routine, it's going to feel uncomfortable. It's okay. Just do it anyway. So I'm going to ask you to relabel discomfort. Instead of saying, I can't handle this, this is so hard, this is difficult. Why am I doing this? All of those really negative, heavy thoughts that you have to, I am building my confidence muscle right now. My confidence muscle is getting sore because I'm using it over and over. And that's okay because that means I'm making myself stronger and stronger. You're going to relabel the discomfort that you have. This way, you become more and more familiar with what discomfort is. There are many episodes that I talk about discomfort and how that discomfort is typically super short and sweet. I say that with kind of a joke, right? It's not sweet, it's discomfort. So if you get familiar with what you feel when you feel discomfort and you're able to pass through that discomfort, it's a magnificent thing. You will change your life. Right here, this step, when you realize discomfort doesn't mean you're failing, but discomfort is simply discomfort. It's just something you have to get through to get to the other side, to build your self-esteem, to build your self-confidence, to build your trust in yourself. So relabel that discomfort to something more positive, more supportive for you. And that little example I gave you is one that you can go with, or you can go back to previous episodes and look at those too. The last thing, when we purposely give ourselves things that benefit us, how we feel about ourselves actually changes. For a full week, I removed TV, bad food, negative social media, and I actually intentionally fed myself with sunlight, greens, wheatgrass, water, rest, reading, writing, peaceful material, peaceful people around me, a peaceful environment. I noticed, of course, significant shifts in my energy, my clarity, my mood, my health markers improved in a huge way. And it simply is fascinating how, when you really think about it, we expect to feel confident when we feed ourselves constant diets of comparison, criticism, and chaos. And instead, just like sugar and processed foods caused inflammation in my body before I went, comparison, social media, and self-criticism cause inflammation in self-worth and in your confidence. So think about that for a second. I challenge you to take the next 7 days to try an input reset and intentionally give yourself fuel with positive influence. No comparison with others on social media or at work. And if you find yourself doing that, I want you to stop yourself immediately, hit reset, have a fail-safe for this moment, already thought out, a positive quote, or maybe a page to read out of an empowering book, maybe a supportive podcast that you could listen to quickly, or a self-compassion practice of maybe writing a few things down that you love about yourself. Here's the thing, you need a hard boundary. There can be no self-insulting comments out loud for a week, or even internally for a week. If you can catch yourself, great. If you want to enlist other people to help you, or maybe do it together, that would be great too. But if you catch yourself, you must replace it with a neutral or a kind statement. But if you're struggling with how to do this, there are some other episodes that you can go check out. Episode 15 and 73 are good, and I'll link a few other episodes in the bottom too to help you maybe just go a little bit deeper if this is something you're not familiar with. But essentially, you must rewrite the story that's going on. If you catch yourself comparing or being mean to yourself or not talking well to yourself, first of all, just ask yourself, would you talk to yourself like this if you were 5 or 6? If you wouldn't, you absolutely must change it. And then ultimately, if you don't realize this, that how you're talking to yourself is how you are going to show up in the world. So if you're being mean to yourself and you're not good to yourself, you're going to suffer self-esteem, and your confidence is going to be low, and how you feel about yourself is not going to be favorable. You definitely want to consider reframing what it is that you are inputting, what are you allowing yourself to listen to, and then what's coming out of you when you're speaking about yourself. The great news here is you don't have to go away for a whole week like I did to build your confidence. You can just do this by being at home, doing it from your car, doing it from work, however you live and breathe, you can do it right there. Choose yourself on purpose, and here's a quick breakdown of what you can do this week to help you. So in 1, you can pick one promise that you're going to keep for 7 days, and this will help you build your trust in yourself. Pick one thing that you're going to remove, comparison, criticism, and you're going to reframe those thoughts as they pop up. And then you're going to pick one positive fuel for your mind or your body. Positive fuel is just something that is actually good for you, that's something refueling you and reigniting you versus making you doubt yourself or thoughts that are not serving you. This is the deal. You're not just a woman trying to build more confidence. You're a woman who can choose herself, you can keep your promises, and you can gently cleanse what is holding you back. And all you have to do is do this one step, one thought, and one reset at a time. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today. It has been a blast. I would love for you to do me a huge favor and either go leave a rating or a review. And if you really love the podcast or you've learned anything at all, please pass it on to a friend or a family member that might enjoy the podcast as well. That's how I grow, and that's how I'm able to continue bringing you content. If you are interested in coaching, just go to thecrazyconfidencecoach.com. You can sign up for a free discovery call there. Thank you so much for being here. I hope to see you next Tuesday so we can build our crazy confidence together. Love you big.